The range market where most traders go broke. Most traders believe range markets carry the lowest risk. Price moves sideways and feels harmless. No trend, no big losses, or so they think. That belief is where disaster begins. Because range markets are not resting. They are waiting. Waiting for you to lower your guard. Waiting for you to trade more often. Waiting for you to believe it's easy. And the market loves simple opponents. Range markets are patient hunting grounds. They don't rush to kill. They choose to drain you slowly until you doubt yourself. But you never doubt the market. That is its advantage. Most accounts don't blow up. They are slowly worn down. And range markets excel at this. This episode exposes that process. You were taught to buy the range low and sell the range high. It sounds nearly perfect. As if the market were a game. Learn the rules and you win. But the market is not a game. It is an opponent. And it observes you. It knows where you enter. It knows where you place stops. More importantly, it knows when you lose patience. Range strategies are not wrong. What's wrong is thinking only you use them. When everyone sees the same range, it is no longer safe. It becomes a liquidity pool. And you are the water. Range markets serve one function: collecting orders, collecting emotions, collecting misplaced confidence, until it can be exploited at once. This is not conspiracy. It is market mechanics. Most trading education avoids this truth because it doesn't sell strategies. But this is reality, and you are inside it, repeating it every day. You trade more frequently in ranges because it feels like more opportunities. In reality, it's just more noise. Every entry and exit costs you spread, fees, mental fatigue, and you don't notice it because losses look small. Small enough to ignore until they accumulate. You start adjusting strategies, moving stop losses, adding to losing positions. You tell yourself it's just bad luck. But the market doesn't run on luck. It runs on structure. And the goal of range structure is to drain incorrect behavior. The harder you try, the faster you expose yourself. That is the cruelty of ranges. It rewards patience and punishes urgency. Retail traders lack patience by nature. Not because you're stupid, but because you're human. The market knows this and exploits it. This is not moral. It's design. Range markets are not directionless. They just haven't chosen a side yet. And before choosing, both sides must be cleared. Bullish illusions, bearish confidence. That clearing process, it's called consolidation. You think you're trading price. In reality, you are being traded. Your patience is being traded. Your emotions are being traded. Your beliefs are being traded. Range markets don't test skill. They test discipline. And most people fail here. Not because they can't read charts, but because they can't tolerate boredom. The market exploits boredom, making you jump in. You suffer in ranges not because you can't trade, but because you misunderstand the market's purpose. The market does not exist to give you opportunities. It exists to complete structure. And you are part of that structure. A range market is an unfinished structure. Before completion, it needs more reactions, more attempts, more wrong decisions. And all of these come from retail traders. You think you're waiting for direction, but the market is waiting for you to make mistakes. Every entry is a signal, not for you, but for the market. Range markets don't reward speed. They reward patience. And patience is what retail traders lack most. Because you were taught to always act. Not trading makes you anxious. The market exploits that anxiety, making you feel you're missing something. But in reality, you're only missing temptation. In range markets, the safest decision is often no decision. But almost no one wants to hear that. Because it's not exciting. And it doesn't match people's fantasies. The market is not entertainment. Yet you treat it like one. That's why you get punished. Range markets are not where you make money. They amplify incorrect behavior. The more you try to prove you're right, the easier you become part of the error. Real traders become quieter in ranges, not more active, because they know the market is not ready. When the market isn't ready, any action you take just helps fill the structure. And those who fill structure rarely get rewarded. You don't need to be smarter in ranges. You need to be calmer. Calmness is not inactivity. It's knowing when not to act. That skill is rarely taught, because it can't be packaged as a strategy. Yet it is the real edge. Range markets are a mirror. They reflect your fear, your ego. And the market is not responsible for any of it. If you keep losing in ranges, it's not because trading isn't for you. It's because you haven't learned to wait. Waiting is not doing nothing. It's not being dragged by temptation. This is the only solution in ranges. Not better indicators. Not faster entries. But fewer actions. This sounds counterintuitive. But the market was never meant to suit human nature. If you can understand this, range markets stop being enemies. They become reminders. Reminding you when to step back, not to jump in. Most people never learn this lesson because it's too boring. But boredom is what professionalism looks like. Range markets don't give hero moments. They only give choices. Choose to wait, or choose to be used. The market never forces you to trade. You force yourself. And range markets are where this is tested. If you can survive here, trend markets will reward you. But if you exhaust yourself here, you'll never reach the trend. Ranges are not the end. They are filters. Filtering impatience. Leaving discipline. Now you know this. Only one question remains. Are you willing to accept boredom? Or keep chasing excitement? The market responds to your choice, not your hopes. Range markets honestly reflect who you are. If you understand up to here, you are ahead of most people. And that advantage requires no new indicators, only that you stop overacting. If you've made it this far, you should realize one thing. The problem isn't one bad trade. It's staying in the wrong market condition. Range markets are unsuitable for most traders. But no one tells you this. Because trade more sells well. And trade less doesn't. Next episode, we talk about volume. You think it confirms trades. But often, it deceives you. Especially in ranges, if you still trust volume, you might be helping the market complete its design. This is not a warning. It's an invitation. An invitation to see the truth. Instead of being miseducated, the market doesn't care what you believe. It only cares how you act. And your actions determine your outcome. This is the range market. It is not your enemy, but it punishes misunderstanding. If you survived this episode, you are closer to truth than most. Next episode, we continue exposing why volume is not on your side. This is Nothing is Impossible. There are no shortcuts to market truth. Nothing is impossible. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. Subscribe and support us to help make the impossible increasingly possible.